Have you ever wondered how to find true inner peace amidst the daily chaos? Buddhism offers us millennia-old teachings that guide us toward acceptance and detachment, showing us that what is meant for us will arrive at the right time. Through stories and parables, we will learn to let go of what does not belong to us and to embrace, with serenity, what life presents. We will discover that detachment does not mean indifference, but rather a profound freedom that allows us to live fully. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and personal transformation, where together we will explore how to apply these teachings in our daily lives in order to achieve a fuller, more conscious existence. If you found value in these teachings and wish to continue exploring the path to inner peace, we invite you to like this video, share it with those who may benefit, and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you support our journey together and help spread wisdom that can bring clarity and calm to many others.
The art of detachment, freeing the soul. Once upon a time, a monk was carrying a porcelain cup that his master had gifted him. He cherished it deeply, admired it, and kept it by his side at all times. One day, the cup fell to the floor and shattered into 1,000 pieces. The monk felt a deep emptiness in his chest, but his master calmly said, "That cup was already broken from the beginning." Detachment is not indifference or resignation. It is the understanding that nothing in this world is permanent. How often do we cling to things, people, or situations, fearing to lose them? We hold on to relationships that no longer serve us, to expectations that only bring frustration, and to memories that keep us chained to the past. We believe that letting go means losing something valuable, but in truth, letting go sets us free. Buddhism teaches us that suffering arises from attachment. We cling because we seek security in a constantly changing world. Yet true security is not found in the external world, but in our ability to accept impermanence. When we truly understand this, we stop seeing loss as tragic and begin living with greater lightness. Think of it this way. The river does not cling to the water that flows through it. It simply follows its course. In the same way, we can learn to flow with life rather than resist its inevitable changes. How many times has life taken something away from us only to offer something better later? But in the moment, blinded by fear and anxiety, we fail to see the gift. Practicing detachment does not mean giving up what we love. It means loving without possession, without dependence. It is enjoying what we have while knowing that at some point it might change. And when that change comes, we will be at peace. Detachment is a key that opens the door to acceptance, the next step on this journey. For once we learn to let go, we must also learn to embrace what life brings us without resistance or struggle.
Radical acceptance, embracing reality as it is. One day, a disciple approached his master and said, "Master, I suffer because life is not how I want it to be." The master smiled and replied, "You suffer because you resist what is. Life is not here to please you. It is here to teach you." Acceptance does not mean resignation or giving up. It means seeing reality clearly, without filters or self-deception. But why is it so difficult for us to accept what happens? Because the mind creates stories about how things should be. We believe that if we try hard enough, everything will eventually fit into place. But life does not work in that way. Imagine you are at the beach and you see a massive wave approaching. You can try to stop it,
curse it or resist it, or you can dive into it and allow it to carry you. The wave will not disappear just because you dislike it. The same is true for the situations we cannot control. Resisting them only creates more suffering. Accepting life as it is does not mean allowing harmful situations to continue or surrendering our desires. It does not mean giving up on what we hope to achieve. Rather, it means recognizing what exists without denial, distortion, or unnecessary drama. Once we accept reality, we can decide more clearly what actions to take. Consider the story of the archer. An expert archer can calculate the trajectory of his arrow with great precision. However, there are always factors beyond his control, such as the wind, the humidity, or the movement of the target. He can choose to complain and become frustrated, or he can adjust his aim, adapt, and shoot again. In life, many things are beyond our control. Acceptance allows us to focus on what we can influence. Sometimes we resist reality because we believe that accepting it means we are losing. But in truth, acceptance gives us power. It frees us from the burden of unnecessary struggle. It allows us to release what we cannot change and concentrate our energy on what lies within our reach. The secret lies in changing the question we ask. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift in perspective changes everything. It allows us to discover meaning in what once felt like only suffering. Acceptance also means embracing ourselves, our light, and our shadows. Often, our greatest struggle is with ourselves, our mistakes, our imperfections, and our past decisions. But punishing ourselves does not help. It is only through self-acceptance that true transformation becomes possible. The monk who broke his cup understood that everything was meant to be as it was. In that understanding, he found peace. We too can experience the same peace. When we stop resisting what is inevitable, we find deep tranquility. And it is in that tranquility that trust is born. Trust that what is meant for us will arrive, and what is not meant for us will pass.
In the next chapter, we will explore Buddhist stories that help us understand how life always gives us what we need, even when we do not recognize it at the time. Buddhist stories about fate and trust. An old monk once lived in a remote village. One day, a beautiful wild horse appeared in his garden. The villagers, amazed, said, "What luck you have! A horse like this is a great treasure." The monk calmly responded, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" Soon after, the monk's son attempted to tame the horse, but fell and broke his leg. The villagers exclaimed, "What misfortune! Now your son cannot work." With the same serenity, the monk replied, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" Weeks later, a war broke out, and all the young men in the village were drafted, except for the monk's son, who could not go due to his injury. Once again, the villagers said, "What luck you have!" And the monk, still unshaken, responded, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" This story teaches us something powerful. Life follows its own course, beyond our limited perception of the present moment. How often has something that seemed like misfortune led us to a better place? Perhaps you lost a job and believed it was the end of a chapter, but that very loss guided you toward discovering a path you are passionate about. Maybe a relationship ended,
and caused you deep pain, but later you realized it was the best thing that could have happened for your growth. Life is wise, and when we trust in its unfolding, we stop suffering over what we do not yet understand. Buddhist teachings remind us that the universe does not take anything from us without reason. What leaves does so because its cycle has come to an end. What arrives comes because we are ready to receive it. But to truly understand this, we must cultivate patience and an open mind.
The butterfly and the cocoon. Another well-known Buddhist story tells of a man who was walking one day and noticed a butterfly struggling to break free from its cocoon. With kind intentions, the man decided to help. He gently opened the cocoon to assist the butterfly in emerging. The butterfly did come out, but its wings were weak and it could never fly. What the man did not realize was that the struggle to break free from the cocoon was essential. That very effort was what strengthened the butterfly's wings. By intervening, he unintentionally prevented its growth. How many times in our own lives do we become impatient and try to force things? We often seek immediate answers and instant results, but growth is a process, and the process itself is part of the lesson. We cannot open the cocoon before its time. We cannot rush what is not yet ready. Trusting life does not mean doing nothing. It means doing our part, without anxiety, without forcing outcomes. Like the farmer who plants seeds, waters them, and tends to the soil. He does not pull on the plants to make them grow faster. He knows everything follows its own natural rhythm. Buddhism invites us to see life through the eyes of a mindful observer. Instead of resisting or fighting every challenge, we can meet it with curiosity. What is this situation here to teach me? Sometimes the lessons are not immediately obvious, but when we look back, we begin to see that everything had its purpose. Accepting uncertainty is not easy, but it is deeply liberating. It allows us to live with less fear and less anxiety. It teaches us to enjoy the present moment rather than obsessing over the future. Because in the end, what is meant for us will arrive, and what is not meant for us will pass. On this path of trust and surrender, there is a powerful inner tool that helps us find clarity amid the chaos. Focusing on the breath.
Meditation. In the next chapter, we will explore how meditation allows us to connect with inner peace and strengthen our trust and life. The practice of meditation. In a Buddhist monastery, a disciple approached his master and said, "My mind feels like a whirlwind of thoughts. I try to find peace, but the more I try, the more restless I become." The master smiled and handed him a glass of water with dirt in it. "Shake it," he said. The disciple did as instructed. "Now wait," the master continued. Gradually, the dirt settled at the bottom, and the water became clear. "This is the mind," explained the master. "If you allow it to calm, clarity will come by itself." Meditation is one of Buddhism's most powerful tools for training the mind and finding inner peace. It is not about emptying the mind or running away from problems. It is about observing without judgment, allowing thoughts to come and go without clinging to them. We live in a world filled with constant stimulation, notifications, social media, news, and ongoing concerns. Our minds are always active. But when we meditate, we give the mind a moment of rest. It is like turning off the external noise so we can truly listen to what matters within. The benefits of meditation are also supported by modern science. It reduces stress, improves concentration, strengthens the immune system, and, most importantly, helps us develop a healthier relationship with our thoughts and emotions. However, beyond these practical benefits, meditation teaches us a deeper truth: impermanence. When we close our eyes and observe the breath, we begin to notice that everything is temporary. A thought appears and fades. An emotion rises and then settles. This awareness helps us understand that nothing in life is permanent. Not pain, not sadness, not anxiety. Everything flows and transforms. Many people say they cannot meditate because their minds will not stop thinking. But the mind does not need to stop. Meditation is not about suppressing thoughts. It is about learning to observe them, like clouds passing through the sky. The sky remains, even as the clouds come and go. There are many forms of meditation in Buddhism, but one of the simplest and most effective is breath meditation. All you need is a quiet space, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and bring your attention to the air entering and leaving your nostrils. Do not try to control anything. Simply observe. If your mind begins to wander, gently return your focus to the breath. There is no need to force anything. Another powerful practice is gratitude meditation. Every day, take a few moments to reflect on the things you are grateful for. This simple act can shift your perspective, helping you focus on what is present and beautiful, rather than on what is missing.
Letting go meditation. There is also the practice of letting go meditation. If there is something weighing heavily on your heart or mind, begin by imagining that you are holding it gently in your hands. Breathe deeply, and with each exhale, visualize yourself releasing it, little by little. This practice is simple, yet incredibly powerful for releasing emotional burdens. With each breath, you invite in clarity and let go of what no longer serves you. As we meditate regularly, we begin to notice subtle yet profound changes. We react less intensely to difficulties. We begin to feel a greater sense of peace in our everyday lives. We learn to live with greater presence, and this presence is the key to letting go of control and flowing with life, which leads us to the next step on our journey. Next chapter: Trusting the universe and letting go of control. One day, a disciple stood by the river alongside his master. As they watched the flowing water, the master said, "Look at how the river moves. It flows without resistance, adapting to every rock, every curve, every shift in its path. It does not fight the current. It simply continues forward." We, on the other hand, often try to control everything: our relationships, our future, even how others perceive us. We believe that if we plan thoroughly enough, we can avoid pain and ensure happiness. But life does not operate that way. Like the river, it is in constant motion, ever-changing and unpredictable. When we cling to what we cannot control, we create suffering for ourselves. Buddhism teaches that true peace arises when we learn to let go. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means understanding and accepting that not everything is within our control. We can put in our best effort, but we cannot guarantee the result. We can love someone deeply, but we cannot make them stay. We can take care of our health, but we cannot prevent illness forever. By releasing the need to control every detail, we allow life to flow as it is meant to, and in doing so, we find freedom, acceptance, and trust in the unfolding path.
Conclusion: Trusting the journey. As we walk this path of mindfulness, acceptance, and inner peace, we begin to see that life is not something to be controlled, but something to be lived, experienced, and trusted. Buddhism teaches us that suffering lessens not when life becomes perfect, but when we stop resisting what is. When we let go of attachments, embrace the present moment, and trust the natural flow of the universe, we create space within ourselves for peace, clarity, and joy. Let each breath be a reminder. You are not here to fight the current, but to learn from it, to grow with it, and to trust where it is taking you. If this message resonated with you, we invite you to like, share, and leave a comment with your thoughts or personal reflections. Your interaction not only supports this journey, but also helps others discover these teachings and find peace within themselves.
Subscribe and awaken your mind with Wisdom Kingdom.